Sonic 4 the movie is on the way, and a lot of things about this new adventure have already been revealed. But do you really have any idea just how incredible this movie is going to be? Eggman returns. From Sonic 3 up until recently, we didn't know whether Eggman, who we also know as Dr. Robotnik, would return for the fourth movie, since the villain sacrificed himself to save Earth at the end of Sonic 3, which gave us one of the most emotional scenes in the entire franchise. However, with the release of the first teaser for the production, it was confirmed that Jim Carrey, the legendary actor who plays Sonic's archenemy, will be back, which basically confirms that Eggman is returning. Even so, the way this will happen is still a mystery. Could it be that he somehow survived the explosion in space? It wouldn't be the first time Eggman escapes a cruel fate in an unexplained way, because that's exactly what happened in Sonic 2, and we even have a theory about how he could have made it out alive from that massive explosion, but we'll talk about that later. After all, it's possible that Jim Carrey might not even be playing the same version of Eggman, but rather an alternate version from another timeline where he conquered the world, which appears in concept art for a deleted scene from Sonic 3. Maybe they removed that scene to reveal this surprise only in the fourth movie. Either way, we're just getting started. We're going to tell you everything we know about Sonic 4 the movie. So grab your popcorn and get comfy on the couch. Another Cinewave is starting. Amy Rose. One thing everyone should know is that Amy Rose is going to be extremely important in this new movie. This was already somewhat clear from the post-credits scene of the last film, where she appeared and saved Sonic's life. But if anyone still didn't get the message, now it's official that Amy Rose will be front and center, since the Sonic 4 teaser focused heavily on her and showed that the title will have a pink 4, which is basically Amy's signature color. And that's not all. In this teaser, we see Amy's hammer smashing through a wall and opening what looks like some kind of energy rift. It really seems like in this scene, the hammer is breaking reality and opening a portal to another time or another dimension, which lines up perfectly with that deleted scene from Sonic 3 where the blue hedgehog ends up on an alternate Earth, especially because he would meet Amy Rose for the first time on that Earth, suggesting that she is from there. We don't know if this is a future Earth or another universe, but it's clear that Sonic 4 will deal with one of these two things, time travel or alternate universes. This teaser just makes that even more obvious. Honestly, it could even be that the movie explores both themes at the same time. Shadow returns. Another character whose presence has been confirmed in the new production of the fastest hedgehog in the world is Shadow. He also seemed to have lost his life in the previous movie, but the second post-credits scene of Sonic 3 had already shown that the franchise's best anti-hero had survived. Even so, his presence in the new movie was still a mystery. Many fans theorized that Shadow wouldn't even return in the next film, and would instead become the star of a spin-off series just like Knuckles. It's still possible that Shadow will get his own spin-off in the future, but since the Dark Hedgehog appeared in the Sonic 4 teaser, it means he'll also be part of this project, and that's amazing. Speaking of that, remember when we mentioned that we have a theory about how Eggman could have survived the ship explosion in Sonic 3? That connects directly to Shadow. In addition to his super speed, the Black Hedgehog has Chaos Control, a power that allows him to teleport himself and others. In other words, it's totally possible that Shadow teleported and took Dr. Robotnik with him before the explosion. It would be really interesting if, in Sonic 4, Shadow and Eggman were living together after escaping death. After all, both of them were villains who switched sides to save Earth, so they actually have a lot in common. So what about you? Are you more excited to see Amy Rose in action, or to see Shadow return? Comment down below #Amy or #Shadow so we can see your answer. Wow. Metal Sonic. As for the movie's villain, we have no doubt that the big threat this time will be Metal Sonic. It's possible that another villain could be behind him, like Dr. Robotnik, but everything points to Metal Sonic truly being the main threat. Just like Amy, he had appeared in the post-credits scene of the third movie and reappeared in the background of the Sonic 4 teaser. In the games, Metal Sonic is a robot that was built by Eggman with the goal of surpassing the franchise's hero. The robot can do practically everything the Blue Hedgehog can do, like run at super speed, but he also has additional abilities. In the movie, the difference is that there will be an army of Metal Sonics instead of just one. They are likely weaker than the real Sonic, but they make up for it in numbers. Even so, we believe there will still be a main Metal Sonic who will be just as powerful as the protagonist, or even more powerful than him. Metal Sonic could also bring a very interesting explanation for Eggman's return if the movie decides to adapt certain elements from the game Sonic Heroes. In that game, Eggman seems to be the main villain at first, until we discover that the one behind everything was actually Metal Sonic, using his abilities to imitate the appearance of his creator. In that case, Eggman could appear as the villain even if the real one died in that explosion. This would make sense if the scientist had built Metal Sonic before he passed away, and that simply hadn't been revealed yet. Then, the robot is activated and begins to imitate Robotnik's appearance to deceive everyone. The final plot twist, with Metal Sonic revealing that he had been imitating Eggman's appearance, would leave everyone shocked. Sonic 5 confirmed? The next movie featuring the Speedy Hedgehog is set to be released in March 2027, but can you believe that another film in this universe is already being planned? It has been scheduled for December 22nd, 2028, 1 year and 9 months after the release of Sonic 4. The working title for this project is Event Movie in the Sonic Universe. What does that mean? It could be a spin-off, like a Shadow Project for example, but since it's being called an event movie and is set to release less than 2 years after the fourth film, we believe it might actually be a Sonic 5, or rather Sonic 4 Part 2. If this 2028 project is a direct continuation, that explains why the releases are so close to each other. And that would make sense, since we've already seen hints that the movie will explore time travel or the multiverse. These are very complex themes for a single film, not to mention that Metal Sonic could become a major threat. If the robot is the villain of both movies, there's a chance that the 2028 production could be titled Sonic Heroes, in reference to that PS2 game where Metal Sonic pretends to be Eggman and then reveals himself as the true villain of the story. Chaos Emeralds. One of the most important elements in the entire Sonic franchise is the Chaos Emeralds. They didn't play such a major role in Sonic 3, but it looks like they will once again be very important in this upcoming production. We can already notice this just by watching the teaser where all 7 emeralds appear, and we can even imagine what their role in the story might be beyond granting the supersonic transformation. Remember when we talked about the high chances of this movie involving time travel or the multiverse? The Chaos Emeralds might be used to travel across different timelines. After all, the emeralds have already demonstrated this ability in the games. In fact, if Amy's hammer really does have the ability to create portals to other timelines, one way to explain this would be to say that a Chaos Emerald is embedded inside her weapon. It's clear that the Chaos Emeralds will be relevant here, but there's one important detail. It wasn't shown what happened to them at the end of Sonic 3. From what it looks like, the relics separated and could be anywhere, which might make the story of the new movie revolve around Team Sonic traveling around the world to find the emeralds while being chased by Metal Sonic. And let's be honest, that's great since the Chaos Emerald spent most of the movies fused into the Master Emerald, unlike in the games where the Master Emerald is a completely separate relic. A cool way to make these relics more similar to their game versions. The subscribe button is right there, waiting for you. How about clicking and keeping up with everything we post? New cast members. With the arrival of new characters, we also have new actors joining to portray them. It has already been more than confirmed that Amy Rose's voice will be performed by Kristen Bell, an actress known for voicing Anna in Frozen and for playing the lead character in the series The Good Place, among many other roles. Kristen Bell already has experience in voice acting for animation, so we believe she will do a great job. Another actor confirmed to be in the movie is Ben Kingsley, who you might recognize for playing the fake Mandarin in Iron Man and in Shang-Chi if you're a fan of Marvel movies. However, his case is different from Kristen Bell's because it's still unknown which character he will play. The only thing we know for sure is that it will be an important character. Well, it hasn't been revealed yet who will voice Metal Sonic, so maybe that could be Ben Kingsley's role. Unless the robot is voiced by Ben Schwartz, Sonic's voice actor, maybe his voice will be the same as the heroes, just with a robotic filter layered on top. If that were the case, it would be even harder to figure out what Ben Kingsley's role in the movie would be. He could be a human agent from GUN like so many others, or maybe some villain that hasn't been revealed yet. We'll have to stay in the dark for a little while longer. Filming. One of the most exciting pieces of news surrounding Sonic 4 is definitely that filming for this movie has already begun. This was announced on March 2nd of this year on Jeff Fowler's Instagram, the director of all the Sonic films. Jeff posted a photo along with the announcement holding Amy's hammer, which just proves once again that she's going to be extremely important. As if we needed any more proof, right? As for the release date, it will be March 19th, 2027, at least in US theaters. The fact that we've already gotten a small teaser shows that Paramount isn't wasting any time, and that we'll be getting more news about Team Sonic very soon. The fun doesn't stop here. There are 2 amazing videos waiting for you on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.